lovelies. My name is Jessica and welcome to makeup.misfit. And I have the first update for Pan That Face palette for 2026. This year I decided to go with my Jouer the Rose Cut Gems palette. I did have this on a project towards the end of 2025 and I instantly really enjoyed this palette and decided that this was the one I wanted to work on for 2026. Now I don't have any specific goals. I just want to show this palette a lot more use and a lot more progress, and just see where it ends up at the end of this year. Whether that has a few shades finished off, a few shades with pan, or no pan in any of the shades, that's okay as long as I'm continuing to use this palette and giving it the use and the progress that it deserves. I'm excited to see what it looks like. Now, throughout the year, if I'm really enjoying a shade and I do happen to hit pan and I want to expand the pan, or there's so much that I want to eventually finish it up, I will make those small goals and adjustments throughout the year as I go, just depending on how I feel and what I want the palette to look like at that point. But ultimately, I just want to see the progress on this from pretty much the start right till the finish. I did reach for every shade in here one time in the project that I had it in at the end of 2025, and I've been reaching for a couple of the shades a lot more frequently over the past few weeks or so. So this is what my palette is currently looking like. Now, I think you can tell from there, but the shade Kiss Me and the shade Garnet are the two shades that I have been focusing on over the last couple of weeks. Now, at first, I was just reaching for the shade Kiss Me, and I would apply that to my cheeks, and then I'm also reaching for my NARS Mini Deep Throat shade that I have in a project, and I have been pairing the two together, and I have really been enjoying how that's been turning out. And then only over the last maybe week and a half to 2 weeks is when I actually started reaching for Garnet as well. I figured I might as well try and reach for this shade, wear these two together, pair it with my NARS blush, and I'm still really enjoying it. That's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. It's what I've been wearing for, like I said, the last week and a half to 2 weeks. I have been dipping into this every single day. So whether it was just for the one or the two, it definitely has been getting quite a bit of use. And then because I have to use my NARS shade 52 times, I'm going to continue to pair these with that shade until I hit that goal. And then I do have another blush, a peach blush that I need to start working on. So I think what I'm going to do is when I get to that one, I'm going to start working these two blushes into that look. Especially, I think more so this one. We'll see about this one. I'll probably pair the two together like I have been with these two. But I might select one over the other to start with, alternate throughout them. We'll just have to see how it goes. So then I will be working on these two for a little while with that blush. And then I think once I reach my goals on those other two, I'm just going to try, unless I throw other blushes into other panning projects, just use this palette a little more freely. But also I think that this blush is one that I want to focus in on at, like, when summer comes around, when I have a little bit more of a tan. I am really curious to see what it's going to look like on me at that point. Like, I know I used it the one time that I had to towards the end of 2025. But I don't know if in the summer it's going to be a little bit too bright, but I'm thinking that this shade right here, it's a very light pink, that I can pair this with this shade as well if I feel like I need to tone this down a little bit. If it's a little bit too bright, if it's a little bit too in my face or a little bit too out of my comfort zone, I can pair this lighter pink shade here called Tease Me and just pair these two together as I go. I think this would be nice in the winter as well because I am a lot lighter, obviously, that I think I could probably get away with this one just on its own. So, I'm pairing these two together right now. These two are probably going to be next, and then I'll have these two that I can pair together later on, and then just kind of mix and match and play around and see how this year goes. And then we'll see. Maybe I'll end up really loving one shade over the rest and want to hit pan or want to finish something off, or we'll see how it goes, and then slowly but surely see the progress that this palette has been making over the year. So that's it. That is it. It's a very short update. Not a lot to talk about within the first few weeks, but hopefully by the next update, I will be getting around to those peach shades. Hopefully I can kind of, just even on their own, pair them together and see how I enjoy that. Pair them with the other peach blush that I need to work on, get some more use going on that side of the palette, and then decide what I want to do and how I'm going to pair those pink shades together, come up with some combinations, and go from there. So that is it for this update. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.